yes. Oh my
Stand by.
God.
Everybody stand by.
Yeah, we're a little late. We're a little late, Bellow. Whatever, it doesn't matter. A minute late. We had to do 9:45 minutes because Gary, but oh my God, what is this? It's not even over, but
Bellow.
Bellow. It's the Budrush Bellow. I am your host, Tommy Fresh, and you are all still my buds. And joined, as always, on the Budrush Bellow, it is Mr. Viz, a.k.a. Gary. How you doing, buddy?
Hey man, I'm doing real well. I'm really getting hyped for ProQuest season. I'm just, playing Mr. Viz, Mr. Purple Guy, playing him a bit on Talishar. Got 2 armories this week, 2 CC armories, and then next week we've got Battle Hardened New Jersey.
Oh yeah, we do. I wish I got to play some Armory sometimes. Too busy. But I think next week will be my first Armory of the year. If everything goes well. I don't, something's going to happen, I'm sure. But I do have some beef with you, Gary.
Yeah?
Did you know I had some beef with you?
No, I didn't.
All, oh my God, you're way sized wrong. That's the first beef, but let's just get you a little bit smaller, whatever. The beef is you refer to me as Tom on Twitter.
Oh.
I don't know who Tom is. I am Tommy. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
With an I?
No, with a Y.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's true, Capolo. Next week is the Fresh / Capolo birthday / Orlando Bloom and some other people that
the fresh anniversary, if you will.
Yeah, Danny DeVito. No, actually, I don't think Danny DeVito. I'm making that one up, but yeah, you call me Tom. Tom. I mean, I've gone by Tom my whole life until Flesh and Blood. Well, no, until a little bit before Flesh and Blood, but I introduced myself as Tom to someone recently at a bar, and he was like, you're the most Irish sounding person I've ever heard of. And this guy was like old school Italian, so like I understand, but we chatted before the show, and you were like Tom Fresh, and I was like, now that sounds like the most Irish thing. If my name was Tom Fresh, my blood type would be O'. Oh my God. I told Gary I wanted to say that joke, and here we are. We're joking around. And
my God.
Yeah.
How was your New Year's, man? You have a good one?
Yeah, it was good. I went up to North Jersey, actually the land of Lady Viz, I believe.
Yeah.
Spent some time
Sussex County.
Yep, I was up in Vernon, and hanging out there with a bud that I've tried to get him on the Flesh and Blood train, but he's very Magic oriented, but also now he's just World of Warcraft oriented. So
that takes up your whole life.
It does. He's been skipping Magic to just do raids and stuff. I'm like,
wow.
I don't know what that means. I was not a big World of Warcraft guy. Sometimes I'll hop on, but I like it's weird. I'll play World of Warcraft for the single player experience, which I don't think
massive single player online role playing.
I know it sounds stupid, and it probably is, but it is. Yeah, thank you. But hey, listen, we got a great show for you this week. We are cracking some packs. We are doing the Scabskin moment of the week. We're going to talk a little bit about what can Flesh and Blood do differently this year to make it an even bigger success. And then we're going to count down the top 5 decks that are going to surprise people in ProQuest season and like Battle Hardened and all that fun stuff. And then we're gonna take a look at the Bud Greg, aka Big Dick Jones, Big Richard Jones. Oh man, we got demonetized. I was never monetized ever to begin with. So, but we're gonna take a look at his Princess Chain deck, which has the Tiara in it. I mean, seems bizarre to me, but we're gonna take a look. But before we get to all that, let's shout out the Patreon. which you can find in the show notes. It helps keep the mics hot, the lights on. It's humming and dinging. Actually got to send out some rewards this week for some international buds, which is very exciting. And you get a Romping Club membership card. You get some stickers, a handwritten note, just like the one behind Gary's head right now. He got that one up there. You know,
got a frame.
It's funny. Actually, I told Gary, he's like, if you want to be on this show, you have to be a patron. So no, but you can check it out. And then also we're gonna start. I do some freshies, some little bonus apps, but also we do the crack pack on the show, and sometimes there's packs left over from the Scabskin roll that we do for it, and I usually just open them after the show anyway. The ones that we don't use, but we're gonna start recording that and putting up on the Patreon because hey, what if I open the Fable in that one? That would be some tangy content right there. That would be pretty good.
Quality subscriber content.
And then also shout out to the Fresh and Buds podcast, my OG podcast that is not live. And we have a new episode, very special episode coming out tomorrow where I try to pitch the game to a non-player, and hopefully it will serve as a blueprint for other folks trying to do the same thing with their friends who don't really play the game, but you know that they would really enjoy it, right? You know, there's some folks out there that you're like, you know that they like games, but Flesh and Blood might not be the thing for them. But you also know the folks that are like, well, if you just gave it a chance, we know you'll love it. So that's what tomorrow's going to be. It's going to be with the OG Bud. My OG Bud. I've known him since I was born. So it should be interesting. And if you watch or listen on YouTube, it's going to look a little bit different than it ever has.
What's that? Why?
It's going to be video. Whoa!
Oh, no!
I've gotten with the times, man. I've sold my soul. No, I
sold his soul. The art is gone, man. The art is gone.
Yeah. No, I still think audio is the way to go. But if you just want to see our faces, you can see them now, and that's, I don't know. Some people might think that's a benefit. Others might think it's a big disadvantage.
I'll stick to Spotify. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Spotify is still the way to go. But yeah, we got that episode. That one's in the books and going to be out tomorrow. And then also I recorded with Daniel Rakowski yesterday, and that one will be out next week. That one was a lot of fun. You know, getting to talk to someone so much better at the game than I ever will be. And, you know, which is something I don't really get to experience a lot, especially on this show. So, but, yeah, so check that out. But yeah, so you asked me about my New Year's. How's your New Year's?
Yeah, it was pretty good. We went out to a nice dinner. Spoilers for my meal of the week. We went out to a nice dinner, Bud and Maryland's, Center City. And then we took an Uber over to your neck of the woods, the Jersmeister.
Oh, wow.
Hang out with the old Tommy Go Light, or aka Tommy Top Picks. So we hung out with them for New Year's. And we just, you know, played it pretty close to the chest. Didn't do too much. Yeah, just did a lot of. I went and saw some family. You know,
I get it.
Played it safe. Didn't really do too much. But I went to Jersey, which, you know, I debased myself that far. So.
Wow. All right, that's the show, folks. This has been the Budrush Bellow. Now, are you doing dry January? I am drinking a gin and tonic, so I'm not doing. No. The only thing dry in this house is my nostrils from blasting the heat. Not my choice. It's Lady Fresh's choice, but.
No, I don't know. We wouldn't be able to enjoy Battle Hard New Jersey then, would we?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we typically slam a few beers before we start playing. That's a joke. LSS, if you're listening, we know that you are. That's just a joke. I would never play inebriated except at the speakeasy of the Realm Games Battle Hardened, which was a lot of fun. Now, do you want to crack some packs?
Yeah, let's do it. So You've graciously allowed me to open a pack this time.
Sure.
And
Let me get it close here.
I really
Wait, Arcane Rising, isn't that out of print?
it's out of print. It's out of print, but I was able to secure some packs of Arcane Rising. And I'm very excited to open this because, as many of you know, this is, besides Crucible of War being my favorite set from like history perspective, we got a Viscerai pack right here, Legend Story Studios right here, 2020. So yeah, let's open it up and see what we get.
This is pretty crazy, unprecedented. Never a Arcane Rising pack on this show.
On this show, we got a Viscerai token at least. That's a great start, right?
Holy smokes!
Oh wait, what is this?
Crucible, what the heck?
Oh my gosh, it's the best pack I could ever ask for.
Oh my god.
It's just a bunch of rune chants. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it.
We got technical difficulties here.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Well, that's been the Budrush Bellow.
Oh my god. If you can't tell, Gary is off his rocker here.
Yeah.
And has rigged a pack.
Yes.
Can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, no, I thought it would be a good joke, but it turned out not being a great joke.
Well, you can't hear all the laughter.
You can't hear all the laughter.
Yeah. I know Capolo's laughing so hard right now, especially since I saw he's playing a. I know you're playing a video game, Capolo. The notification on Steam just popped up. Glenn's Island. What's that? And also, this is something that people don't know. I think I should tell them, Gary. Should I tell them?
Yeah, go for it.
About the show. This is a little behind the scenes, a little inside baseball. We pre-record all these shows and just guess what people are going to say in the chat. It's
yeah.
I mean, nobody's doing what we're doing. Come on.
Thanks. I can't believe you spoiled it. I thought we would talk about this beforehand a little bit more, but it is what it is.
It is. Oh, I'm dropping stuff over here. All right, you ready for?
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's actually roll the dice.
Let's actually roll the dice. Wait. One sec. Let me get the. Okay, you roll the dice first.
I did.
Was that a 6?
It is.
Holy. Wait, that's awesome. Okay, I didn't watch. Wait, did you cheat? No, you didn't cheat. This is amazing. This is 2 6s in a row.
Yeah.
3 action points. Sorry, Patreon. You're not getting a pack this week. 3 packs. Dynasty. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this. Is this the second annual top-down camera?
The second annual, the top-down. A little doomsday mat.
We did it last year. Now we're doing it this year.
Wonder where I got this mat.
Where did you get this mat?
Capolo.
Absolute legend.
I won a giveaway for his content creator pack thing. Definitely.
Beautiful.
Pre-recorded roll. Yeah, we just used the same one as last week. Predatory streak. Predatory stake. Shield wall. More like shield ball. Tempest or Aurora. Borealis. Long shot. I make the same joke with long shot every time, but
yeah.
Hey Gary.
Yeah.
What are the chances I get a spoiler for Outsiders? Boom, long shot. Spectral Rider. I went to Rider University. I made that joke already too. I need a new set to come out so I can make new jokes. Fleece the Frail. Ooh, a majestic Arachne the Huntsman.
Oh, you got an Arachne?
I sure did. Boom.
Hell yeah.
I'll put that over there. I've stopped putting Arachnes in my binder because, like, I mean, nobody's trading for Arachne.
Especially with a cold foil out this season.
Rainbow foil prognosticate. Have you gotten your prognosticate checked? I think I made that joke already too. What is going on? Aether quickening. Blessing of spirits. I'm gonna bless these spirits right now. I'm still gin tonic. Before we open next pack, we'll take the Arachne.
All right.
In that pack, why not? It's literally you need this for a deck. This is a staple.
It's an absolute staple. Just like Starvo.
I can't believe they're printing staples in Majestic. Oh, yeah. Greg says it's more like a rack me. Whoa, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Fabled.
Oh, so you're doing the jokes the second pack now?
Yeah, sorry. Visit the Imperial Forge. Sorry, I forgot. I stopped doing jokes. Tree Sap.
I could deal with 1 pack, but 2. Come on.
Gary's a little hemorrhage board. Jumpstart. We got Slay the Scholars. Cut to the Chase. Drill Shot. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow.
Either Quickening and Shield Bash. More like Shield Trash, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello, folks. Third
Shout
pack.
out to James White, who is currently watching right now.
James, my boy.
Jimmy Blanco.
The Nick Bolas experience is in the chat. Hey, Nick, the new podcast. Are you going to invite me to be on the podcast? Jeez, I haven't gotten an invite yet. Maybe if you have me on yours, I'll have you on mine or something like that. We'll get it going.
Greg, I know that the trash was not towards the Nick Bolas experience, but the way that I read it.
No, I can assure you. I mean, the first episode isn't out yet, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know, Mikey. Shield Wall, Rumble Grunting. It's going to be me when I lose my first 2 rounds of Battlehard, New Jersey. Spectral Rider, Sap. Ooh, another Arachne.
Another Arachne?
A young one.
Mm.
Oh, if we do that, we're doing an IRL. Hey, look, I got a little stewed going on. Nick Bolas has been to this humble abode. He knows what I'm talking about.
He's been to the stewed?
Well, I don't think he came up to the stewed. I don't know if he came in the house at all. He didn't come into the house. He just parked outside. Lisa Frail, Spectral Rider, Blessing of Aether, Blessing of Occult. I'm sick of these blessings. I mean, come on.
You're converting to the non-blessing religion.
1 Majestic and it's a freaking hero, dude. I need a hero.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, Sin Creed's in the chat.
Hello.
Oh, I wish I was playing that 1K, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out
I
to
scheduled.
Al
Central. Yeah.
Give a shout out to Al Central. They're the best.
Absolutely.
I wish it was closer. Every time I go out there, I'm like, it's not that far.
Right.
But it is.
Yeah, I need to go. I heard Alberto wants to join us for a Shady Maple experience too.
I want Alberto on this show. Alberto is just a sweet, sweet man. Every time I go into the store, he hugs me. He says he hugs me close and whispers into my ear, "I have COVID." No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, Berto's the best. He is just amazing. But what were you saying? You have something. You have your own armory, CC Armory.
Yeah. I scheduled it the same day he posted that on Twitter, and I was like, oh man, I would like to go, but I'm gonna have to just go another week.
Yeah, shout out to Al. Those packs that we just opened, by the way, are from Chorus War Games in Flemington. I'll need to get some packs from Al Central, just so maybe there's some magic there in the pack openings. Get my fabled, but hey, listen, do you have I'm asking you, do you have a Scabskin moment of the week?
I have a Scabskin moment of the week. Actually, I do, but it's not my Scabskin moment of the week. It's the Buds Discord Scabskin moment of the week. Yesterday night, we ran a little bit of a gauntlet.
Ooh.
In the Buds Discord. You were there.
Was I one of the first, and then I had to leave?
Yeah. It wasn't a real gauntlet. We played like 4 games, but still a lot of games. started out playing against you, and then I played 2 more brutes in a row. I played Cody, I played Sigma, and wow, brute is scary.
It really is.
Yeah.
Folks.
Brute is, yeah, it's scary. I mean, I was lucky. Like Cody was intimidating. Copy Cody, Bud's Discord. What a great dude. He was intimidating me for 3 cards every turn. It was really, it was really nasty. And then Sigma started our game with, he went second, but then he berserked and got me down to like 23 on his first turn. Oof. I did win. You know, what I realized is sometimes I haven't played much brute, but what I learned is that rolling a 6 is not always the best. It feels great.
4 and a 5. That's all you really want, right?
Yeah. Because you feel like, oh man, too much. But if you ever get a weapon that attacks for 1 resource, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the best time, and this would be a good Scabskin moment of the week. And I do want to mention a little something else, but like the best time to roll a 6 in brute, in my opinion, is when you have Blasphemous out, because that's a 0 for a 6.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It's pretty easy to get all 3. And if you're playing like Hexagore, I mean, two's like not that bad, but like you can get something that turns off Blood Debt, Hexagore, Blasphemous off those 3 action points. And I did play, not a feature match, but Flake gets to, I don't know how you say he gets to. He's allowed to. He's allowed to stream on day. No, he streams. Flake streams, and we paired up. And I was watching the stream, so I turned it off. I didn't want to cheat. And I was playing Ethan Van Sant's newest Hexagore list, and first of all, Flake kept saying real men roll 1s, and then I rolled 1, so I was like, I'm a real man. I double 1'd and still almost won, and the reason I didn't, I rolled another 1, and there you go. So you're a real man, Tom. I am a real man. I did roll a couple 6s too. That was a crazy game. Like it was, because he's on Oldham, and it was pretty wacky. And I think, I wasn't in the stream, but when I came back in, I think he kind of admitted it's like it can be pretty scary. Pretty scary. Those 6s are real.
Yeah.
Because like when you think about it, it's like, oh, you just give them 2 cards and take no damage. But Absolutely. It's still 2 cards. 2 cards is crazy. A lot of decks need a full grip. So
yeah.
And
rolling at 6 with Blasphemous does seem really nuts. And your 6s are so hard to block them.
Yeah, you got that right. So we wanted to talk a little bit about Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, right?
It's the first. We're talking about Flesh and Blood because I wanted to look at it in a critical way, because 2022 is great. Now we're at the beginning of 2023, and what can the game do differently this year to ensure some serious success? And I wanted you to start.
Yeah.
If you'd be so kind.
Because you don't have a list prepared, or
I don't have a list. Oh, I'm
just kidding. I'm messing with you.
Well, you're not far off.
let me stall while I think of mine. No, yeah. So I think 2022 is really great. We don't want to overshadow the fact that Jam 2 Pro Tours, multiple Pro Quest seasons, Worlds, an infinite number of Battle Hardens, all in 1 year. But there's a lot of stuff that could really be improved. The first thing I want to say is I'm really looking forward to 1 Pro Tour and 1 Worlds and 1 Nationals. I think it's really going to improve. I want to see the execution of it. I don't have infinite money to be able to travel to multiple Pro Tours and multiple Worlds, and I'm not the best competitor, and I just go to hang out. So, you know, I like what they call it. Was it not a banner event, but a sign, or what did they call it? They called it a pinnacle events of the
Mm-hmm.
season. And I really, yeah, I like Caps mentioned in the chat. Official merchandise, no playmats, more casual support, and give me a Tommy, me and Tommy a spoiler card. Yeah, those are all good 2023 predictions, Cap. We'll see how many of them come true. But yeah, so I would say that I'm really looking forward to the condensed schedule. But in 2023, they could really work on giving us dates. I mean, like that's pretty much a no-brainer. I want to know when we're going to be going to the Pro Tour, when we're going to be going to Worlds. I mean, they gave us like a range, right? Like April, May. But like, if it's in April, that's 3 months away.
Yeah.
Like, I got to buy a ticket. I got to buy a plane ticket. Got to figure out hotels if I want to go to the Pro Tour. And I think luckily it's going to be in the US, but like people who are not in the US are going to have to buy plane tickets in 3 months. Let alone if they're prepared for the meta. Are they prepared for the actual like travel? Like you better get your passport figured out now because you only got 3 months to figure it out. But yeah, I think first of all, dates really need to get better. I think along with that, outside of the competitive play, I really want to see better pre-constructed content. I was like just looking at some of the blitz decks, and while I do love them as a concept of like, oh, I'm gonna go in, I see this deck on the shelf, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna learn it. Um, I think Flesh and Blood does a lot of things really well from a organized play and like a okay, now you have your hero built. What does that actually mean for that player experience? But it's that first like month that you really need to give people like a jump start into the game. We talked about last week. We talked about some of these like pre-constructed PVE decks or like this battle box style. And the more I've ideated on that, I think I would really like to see something like those event decks that you mentioned, because it's not because the reprints, the reprint angle is a big deal, especially now with the ProQuest season pushing Tunic over $200, Crown of Providence over $200. Like it's expensive to play the game. And granted, you don't need all of these legendaries, but it would be nice to have some pre-constructed product that isn't just a $15 blitz deck that's full of cards you can get if you just played a draft or a sealed.
Yeah.
Like you should just pay $30 and buy 7 packs rather than buy two blitz decks. I really think that the first month of this game is the hardest part, and if you don't have somebody who can like lend you the legendaries if you want to be playing at higher level, or we need something that's more of a jump start, because for me, like I didn't buy the blitz decks when I started. I bought 6 packs of Crucible of War, opened a Fable, fell in love with Viserai, and then bought all my Runeblade cards on TCG Player. Luckily, I played Magic. I played a lot of card games, and I know like, oh, I should do this. And luckily, I was talking to you, and you were like, oh, hey, Viserai's bad, but you should if you like that if you like this guy, you should play him. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So, like, yeah, I had somebody that was able to kind of teach me it, and I bought a Prism Blitz deck for the first time. Like, I know, what a mistake. What a mistake.
Oh my god.
I know. I don't like to think about it. I don't like to admit it. But it's not. I see the Nick Bolas experiencing and getting trying to figure things out and getting my cheeks clapped. Yeah, unfortunately, in this game, it is hard to learn how to play more efficiently and close those gaps. And that really is a part of that first few months. We have a few new players at our local store, and just it's funny. My Viserai playmat where it's meant to be like a joke where everything's in papyrus font.
Yeah.
It's actually been nice to use that because not all the new people don't know what Viserai does. And so the playmat has what his ability does written on it as a joke. Like it's written as a joke, but as more and more I think about it, like it's actually a great playmat to teach people while I'm playing Viserai because it has like the combat chain. It has like, okay, attack goes here, rune chant pile goes here, attack goes here, rune chant pile goes here. So it's like it's really funny when I use that playmat. It actually becomes more of a helping guide for the other new player. But yeah, I thought that was really funny. Just like because I totally just did it as a joke because like, oh, who wants to put freaking the Viscerai text on this playmat twice? Like, who does that? But it actually it makes sense now. I think about it. I'm an artist, Tom. I'm an artist.
I
Uh,
don't
Creative
talk
genius.
don't talk to me about art.
But yeah, I think that closing the gap on the first month and coming out with some good pre-constructed content products would be the next step. We don't have like this like bundle that Magic does. I really like the Magic bundle as like a starting point. Like imagine you just have like this $40 box that comes with 8 packs, and then you just have, you know, two sets of Null Rune and 2 sets of Iron Rot. Like imagine that's just like a bundle.
That's pretty good.
You know what I mean? Like something like that would be so much better than recommending like 2 Blitz decks. Like granted, like it's that's more for that middle ground player, but like getting a playset of Iron Rot, 2 playsets of Iron Rot and 2 playsets of Null Run, and I'm only saying this because like, you know, you think out of 8 packs you would be able to build like 2 decks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe 2 decks, and you can each have, you know, an Null Rune. If I don't know, this is just me coming up with things off the top of my head, but something like that would be really nice. So not only just pre-constructed decks, but just like products that aren't just booster boxes and blitz decks. I think they're going to do something different with their classic battles version 2. Because James said something about how he didn't like the way that the product was, the finished product. So maybe we'll see an improvement here in 2023. PvE is going to be a huge deal as well. Darth Greg says praise for a PvE campaign. To what god? To what god? Soul's not going to help you. Soul's going to be the villain. But yeah, I think PvE is going to be a really great, like, it doesn't bridge the gap of like that first 1 to 2 months of learning the game, but what it does is it really opens that transition period for people who don't play card games, and maybe you go over this with Dan this week on your episode. But people who don't play card games and just like that Arkham Horror style, Marvel Champions style, just really like, you know, those scenarios with cards. I think that could be a really good way. So I'd really like to see ultimately improving the new player experience, pre-constructed, whether that's reprints or just jump starting decks, and some dates. Jimmy, let's give me dates. Come on. Give me some dates, Jim.
James White, please pop dates into the chat right now. You're making some valid points here. I forget who it was. I had a, you know, obviously I always have a plethora of guests on the show, but someone made the point that the packaging for the Blitz decks need to be improved, because it is very much like a throwaway kind of thing. It should be a premium product in a way, you know, because it is a premium card game. And 2023, give me the Bard. Yeah, sure, give us the Bard. Wait, we have the Bard, don't we?
No, but that's Burke.
Yeah,
and he wants a playable Bard. He wants to go all in on just Bard combo. That's what he wants.
All right, I hope that happens. But the Blitz decks, yeah, if they could be a little bit better. And like the one thing that I've noticed, because like I usually get the Blitz decks, right? I start with the Blitz decks. I got at least the Oldham one, just usually because I like the full art card of the heroes of the adult version. But you look through it, it's like the rares like aren't really,
there's like 6.
Yeah, and like sometimes there's like one-ofs and stuff like that, which is, it doesn't make any sense. They throw like not like a chase majestic, but like good majestics in there. Something that if someone bought it the day of a Blitz Armory, it would perform. It doesn't need to be like the best, but like it will be competitive, which is a hard thing to ask, but
you know,
yeah.
You know, I don't know if you've ever bought Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Like more recently.
Yeah, I've opened a couple packs here and there.
Do you know the trainer toolkit that they have, where it's like it comes with a bunch of energies, a bunch of trainers. It comes with like 8 packs and 2 super playable cards. Like,
Mm,
that's what
mm.
I feel like that's something that we need, you know?
Yeah, it's some kind of auxiliary product like that would be very helpful. I think Classic Battles. I mean, something they could do is probably release 2 Classic Battles this year would be a huge upgrade,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and a more fair price. The price this is something I talked about with Hayden, but like the price needs to come down
Yeah.
on that. But some other things. I mean, we have a structure which we thought you talked about of OP. I think that that's great, but also give us dates. Dates is big, and
Yeah, dates is
also
huge.
also. I honestly, and I know this is probably something that won't happen in 2023, but we are 6 days away from the Outsiders like official announcement, right? Not
Yeah.
official announcement, but like the official kind of like info, like, hey, this is what this thing's gonna be, or whatever. I would like along with that a because like Magic used to do like these what do they call them, like code names for sets.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they do that anymore. I think they
They
just tell
do.
you like
They
what.
do. They
Yeah,
tell you. There's like tennis, archery.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, something like a little bit of a roadmap of product release.
Hmm.
I know they have to keep us guessing. It's almost like a hype thing, which I
Yeah.
understand, but it would be helpful to plan some things. As a content creator, that's for sure. Because then you can kind of plan. Like I could plan episodes around stuff a little bit more efficiently. Sometimes I have to scramble last minute. Be like, oh my god, I gotta I have to reach out to Bill to do the set review
Hmm.
because this all crept up on us. We didn't know when the spoiler season would end, like officially.
Right.
And something this is gonna probably be a really unpopular opinion, but I would like for them to stop the uh the box break
Mm.
preferable treatment that they've been giving out, which is like cool. But I think that
Yeah.
the Blood of Drakai incident was enough of proof that maybe this is just not the way we should do it. Because sure, there's some magic in opening up the Fable, but why not leave that for like a product release or a pre-release? So that's like it's it's cool that Blood of Drakai or not Blood of Drakai, Corsham was open at the world
Yeah.
premiere. I was at the world premiere for Uprising. It was awesome. We were super excited to play the game and play with these cards right away. There was some excitement when someone opened a Fable, but it was not like
It
I
was
think
spoiled.
that they should focus on recreating that experience that they had with Tales
Yeah.
of Aria. And I don't know. That seems like something they could do, and maybe leave the box break stuff for like the supplemental sets, and or just give out all the all the cards to content creators. I don't know. Box break people are content creators too. I don't want to be reductive, but I think that the Fabled, as someone who's never opened a Fable, I think the magic should still be with the people
Yeah.
opening it. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that that's no. I think that that's a very fair take because, like you said, like the external the external content creators, it's great for branching out and
Mm-hmm.
expanding the game. But like, yeah, like you have to balance that. This is the magic for the players who are playing your game already. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the experience for a new player isn't always the same. I mean, like as somebody who hearing your perspective on somebody who's never opened a Fable, for me opening a Fable and not knowing any idea what it was as a new player, that to me like kept me in the game. You know what
Sure.
I mean? So like the idea that these cards exist are very important. Not saying to say like take the Fable away if you're not, but like yeah, it's finding that weird balance of like marketing and it's like external marketing and internal marketing. You know,
Yeah.
it's really hard to balance. And Magic just did that thing with the Magic 30 where they were marketing outside of Magic because
Yeah.
they couldn't sell Magic players on the idea of Magic 30. So they're obviously not there yet because like there isn't a product as bad as that product was Magic 30, but like you want to make sure that like you're not giving off that idea because especially now that Magic has done it,
Yeah.
like that's something to really be aware of.
Well, Nick Bolas, you opened a cold foil heart of vinyl, so you are officially banned from chat as someone who's never opened a fit now, which was an awesome experience. But I get it. I remember when I like started the game, like opening packs and stuff. I was like, I realized that because I was looking for Eye of Ophidia, and I was like, why am I not finding it? And then I kind of looked it up. I was like, oh, it's really rare. It's like, what if I'd missed it? And I went through all my comments. It wasn't there, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. There's some other stuff. I think OP is looking pretty good, and I think that the actual balance of competitive play has been great. And if they just continue that, like we're off to a great start, right? Because there was some rocky roads in 2022. It feels like forever ago, but we had Starvo, we had like Chain Prism, all these like really toxic decks and metas. But we've had it pretty good here for a little bit. I think that if they could continue that, I mean, like 2023 competitively is way better off. Now, something that I've been thinking about a lot is supplemental sets, right? We're going to get one this year, which I think is the perfect number, but it really needs to be a like knock out of the park, just absolute home run, because I think Dynasty was cool, right? Dynasty was cool, and maybe we're just not really realizing the long-lasting effects of Dynasty currently, but we're kind of seeing two different sides of the spectrum on supplemental sets in Flesh and Blood in this year that we had two supplemental sets. Everfest, overpowered, right?
Yeah.
Overpowered with like a lot of unplayable stuff. Dynasty, some like good cards and like some stuff. It offered new ways to build decks, which I think it was actually a really good step in the right direction. But I think somewhere in the middle, probably is Crucible Award. Just keep printing that. Yeah. But
yes, keep printing Crucible Award.
Well, no, you don't want your Fable to go down in value.
I don't care, man. I don't care.
Yeah, I know you're going to be playing it regardless. But yeah, I think it's do or die for supplemental sets in the game, and I think we talked about this the other last time we went live. But I think it's going to be hard to continue to do it because I think this one, especially the EV, seems pretty low. Mm-hmm. I'm not an EV guy, but like
you prefer Pikachu?
Yeah, I'm more of an IV or whatever in Pokemon. What are the EVs and IVs? No, I mean I read the Reddit posts. I read Twitter. Folks, even new players and stuff like that opening Dynasty. I think it is a real feel bad for some new players. You had a different experience with supplemental sets, but I don't think we can expect every new player to open a Fabled.
Absolutely not.
But so I think the next supplemental set needs to really be a home run, or else they're not in trouble, but they're in trouble with the idea of supplemental sets, and like my opinion, distributor and retailer, kind of faith in the company, because. I mean, even Everfest first edition's like still sitting around,
$50.
Like $50. Dynasty, Dynasty's gonna be in the same boat. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So I actually have an interesting story about Dynasty. When I wander into my LGS, and I'd say half the time somebody's there asking a question about Flesh and Blood, and I talk to them. a lot of times it's a new player who's never played the game before, watched a Rudy video and was interested, and they, talk to him and they're like, oh, I'm going to pick up a few packs because I'm the perfect salesman and I always convince them to always play Flesh and Blood. And they pick up a few packs and the Dynasty box is right by the register. So they just grab 6. And I say, ooh, you probably don't want to start with that one. Like what I usually point them, our shop's lucky enough to have Welcome to Wraith, and Uprising and Monarch and Tales. So I usually point them to Welcome to Wraith, and I say, like, there's a lot of good commons in here. There's a lot of good staples. The first 4 heroes are super easy to learn. And they pick those packs up instead. But the one that's on the shelf right next to the register is the Dynasty, because that's the new one, sure. Right? And so you kind of have to, as a player and a community advocate, you kind of have to like talk to the shop owner and like educate them on like what this shop is, if they don't, what this set is, and if somebody's asking about it, to point them in this direction, because the set's called Welcome to Wraith, but like, not every set's going to be for everybody, and I hate to put it that way, but like, you're right, like Dynasty is not a great place for the new player to start, because you're opening 10 cards that are for 9 different classes. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not actually able to do anything with it. But as somebody who opens 6, if you're going to buy 6 packs, right? You buy 6 packs of Welcome to Wraith, and you can build a Blitz deck, maybe, because there's some good, like, there's a lot of generics in that set. But Welcome to Wraith's out of print, and History Pack is in demand, and people aren't buying it. I mean, people are buying it out, and like, we're in such a weird spot, because also History Pack is not a great place for new players to start, because it has 8 different classes in it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's tough, because these supplemental sets, they're great for inundated players, but bad for new players.
If they could figure out a way to design the set that could be played sealed.
Yeah.
Not even draft. Don't even design a draft set. Just play like, design it to somehow be able to be played as sealed, right? Whether you just like, all right, well, every pack is going to have like one of the original 8 of the non-talented classes, and you'll be able to build a deck if you like use 8 of these packs or something like that. I think that might be a saving grace. Like, I think the supplemental sets do serve a purpose. So
yeah,
but I think it's the biggest thing they need to work on, and hopefully they have, and hopefully that the whatever the supplemental set is in like July or whatever fixes that. Now, I mean, maybe I'm just talking about this because Levi didn't get any support and I'm bitter, but
I mean, yeah, that's why we love you.
Yeah. I'm a bitter boy, bitter bud.
Bitter bud.
So, but yeah, do you want to do some fresh fives?
Yeah, but before we do that, sure. I do want to shout out the that today is the last day to get the merch. Yeah. So I'll post the link in the chat right now. I know some buds already picked theirs up, so I think we love and appreciate the support. But the so we are selling beanies, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, and crew necks. They'll probably end at the end of the show. Maybe our bud Jeff will leave it open until 12 a.m. Eastern time. But we're doing a full order here at this link I posted in the chat. Very good embroidery. That's Jeff O, the Jerkayev merch on Twitter. That's his. Thanks, Cap. Got yourself a shirt and a hoodie.
Cap's
awesome. Yeah, you can go on there. We have all sizes available. After the window closes tonight, we'll be shipping them out. I will be sending a rune chant along with all of the orders. So you'll be getting a rune chant along with it. I just got to get those shipped out to Jeff. The ones we opened tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get those signed and sent out today, and then hopefully they'll get to Jeff by Monday, and then all the orders should start shipping soon, just in time for the calling indie.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I ordered my stuff, and Jeff will be bringing it to Calling Indie for me. And I will be, much like Gary, we will be flying naked to Indianapolis
Yes.
to save room in our bags for the merch that we're getting. Now,
I'm only bringing pants and a pillowcase. That's it.
love it. So, top 5 decks, they're going to shock the world in ProQuest. Hit me.
This Viserai, number one. Viserai's not dead. He ain't gone nowhere.
Okay.
I think Viserai is gonna have a last laugh with Rosetta Thorn, and it's gonna be great. He's gonna get himself some Living Legend points. There's gonna be a Viserai. My prediction is there's gonna be a Viserai to either win a ProQuest or win the Battle Hardened New Jersey, because I'm gonna be playing in both. So that's my prediction. That will be entirely inaccurate when I O2 drop and get drunk at the Chili's. So, but that's my initial prediction. I think Viserai is actually in a really good spot, because what Viserai does in a meta like this is if there's not as many Oldims and there's not as many Lexies and there's not as many Icelanders, because the meta is spread out so widely, a well-practiced Viserai can actually participate very well. The Viserai matchups that they lose are ice focused, and early, like the Nats meta was super icy. There was no chance Viserai was really going to do well in the Nats meta, and Worlds super icy as well. But you're not seeing that with Dynasty. You're seeing Dash, you're seeing some Katsu, so a lot of Fi. I don't know if you've seen all the Fi cards. The Fi legendaries are all spiking. Fi is not an easy matchup for Viserai, but it's not a hard one in that, like, you can win it. You know, across the tournament, it's not going to be, you might not be super successful, maybe 50-50, but you can race Fi pretty easily. You know, they have a bad draw, you have a good draw, they have a good draw, you have an even better draw. You can pretty much beat Fi. The issue with it is, though, that Viserai does lose to himself. So you got to run hot, like you run hot with the Scabskins. Viserai's got to run hot, and not just have a 4 attack hand. That can really brick and ruin the whole run. So I think that there's going to be some good Viserais. You know how I feel about Viserai's trading value. One week he's great, one week he's crap, and everybody's like, oh, you're still on Viserai. No, I'm not going to cheat on my wife, So, but, it's, so I think Viserai is going to be surprising people, because, he's still really good. I don't think that, like, hard aggro Viserai is the ticket, just because hard aggro Viserai loses to a lot more things, than more of a mid-range shell. Another deck I think that's going to do really well is, and this might not be surprising, I think Dash is going to do really well, just because the cards that she got are exceptional. Her stock is just way up right now. I mean, Rose winning the Battle Hardened Philadelphia, it was a Dash final. I mean, that's pretty nuts.
That's all we have to go off right now.
That's all we had to go off right now, right? Like, but I still think Dash is really going to do really well. A well-practiced Dash can pretty much outspeed any opponent, whether that's through fatigue or going boost. So I know Hayden Dale just put out a Dash list. I did lose to it yesterday. Sigma was on it, but I think Viserai and Dash are going to be two big ones. Fi is not really a surprising one, but I really think Fi is gonna do some damage, just because of how consistent and how the damage output on Fi is huge. Like, it's really hard to outrace a good Fi. And along with that, I would not be surprised if Reinhardt did a solid job, because the Reinhardt won the Calling Worlds. And that was even before Skullcrack and Berserk and Reanimate. Is it Reanimate? Yeah.
Reincarnate,
yeah. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I really feel like Reinhardt's gonna pop off, because, like I said earlier in the show, it's not easy to deal with a brute. Once they take your whole hand, sure, you got 4 cards to swing back, but like they're gonna hit you for 12 damage, and you can't do anything about it. If your hand isn't good, then you couldn't block it anyway.
Yeah.
So Reinar, I think Reinar Dash, Viserai. I think Lexi is gonna be a secret assassin as she always is. Ranger got a lot of good cards. Like Dynasty gave Ranger so much gas, but like I personally I don't have any reps against Lexi recently to know how much they changed. But I will say when I played against the Lexi after Dynasty came out, the one game I've played against Lexi, you want to guess how many times I attacked in the whole game?
0?
2.
Oh.
2 times. I got a meet and greet in and I got a Rosetta swing in. And they just really lock you down. Lexi's really gross.
Yeah.
So I think that Lexi, Reinar, Dash, Viserai, and I'm gonna say Fi. I know that that's not like a surprising one. But
No.
but no, Fi. Just because Fi is like one of those things where everybody thinks it's gonna do really well, and then he gets locked down by the ice meta. Well, the problem is there's not as many old imps running around. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But those are my 5.
I think those 5 are good. I have a couple shared ones.
Okay.
Reinar is certainly going to surprise some folks. I think just Reinar in general will surprise. As much as I want to put Levia on this list, I don't think. I mean, unless they're playing me, well, they won't be surprised. They'll take one look at me and it's like, yeah, it's this guy. This guy hates himself. Reinar, yes, I think Dromai is going to have a huge month.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I think it'll be a little bit misleading. This is something that me and Dan Rakowski talk about, is that ProQuest meta is people playing what they want to play. You know, this is not a calling. This is not a pro tour, right? So people love Dromai. People love dragons, right? And they're going to show up with the dragons and they're going to smash because the deck is quite good, especially the Royal version. I truly believe. So Reinar, Dromai, I will say someone's going to spike something with Kirikatsu. And because the deck, it's a glass cannon. If it wins, it's going to win by a lot, you know. I think that, so we say Katsu, Reinar, Dromai. A big one that I think it's going to really scare some people. And I think this is not like too crazy to say, but Kano. Yeah. Kano is it's just good. And I don't think people are going to pack a lot of AB because you just don't want to run into Kano. Right? You know? Yeah. Like, so when you're building your deck and you're doing your sideboard, you're like, how many slots can I commit to this deck that I don't want to play anyway? You know? Right. It's like, I'll take the one loss sometimes. So, Kano. And then finally, someone's got the, this is a real stretch. Someone's got the Arachne deck.
Okay.
We have not seen it. We have not seen any kind of iteration of this deck that, you know, there's a very limited card pool. But
yeah, until March. But
somebody's got the Arachne sauce. It'll be perfect for the meta, and they're gonna spike. So I think that was 5 heroes. Honorable mentions, Bolton.
Bolton's always there, except doesn't he have a really bad matchup into Dromai?
I mean, well, okay. Well, the Bolton that I was playing has a really bad matchup into Dromai. I do not know that Saber Bolton, like combo Bolton, is a problem it like presents a problem with Dromai. Okay. I don't know. I haven't tested it because I've not played combo Bolton like in a while, but because like combo Bolton's like all right, we're gonna win this turn, or we're not, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to say. I mean, it depends on how much like life gain they're playing, because a lot of these Drumite decks are playing like sigils and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see what the meta really looks like. This is our first real taste of the meta.
Yeah, I'm going hard.
But
going hard, man.
Hard in the paint, and and we have a really crazy meta deck to talk about now. Oh, actually, did I do it right? Oh, yeah, I don't know if I set it up right, but we're about to talk about it. Boom. We can't see it yet, but I'm about to make it seeable for you all.
Visible?
No, seeable. This is from. Boom. You guys can see it now. This is from. Oh, you got a blue cheese sleeve on you.
Hell yeah! It's my gambler's gloves.
I like to see. So this is Greg's.
Greg Richard.
Greg Big Richard Jones. We're gonna have a talk with Greg about his name because I can't keep saying it. But this is Princess Chain with a tiara. So I'm gonna let you,
also known as Queen Chain. Queen Chain.
Well, this is young. This is Blitz, so it's got to be princess.
I mean, maybe the king died or the queen died. Sure. Maybe he assumed the throne too early.
Sure. All right, so I'm gonna read it off the cards in the deck. Chain. So the big things about Chain, this version of the deck, is you got Tiara, and Tiara just basically has Blade Break and once, and in this deck it has Blade Break, and then your Rune Chants have Spell Void 1. This is a meme deck.
Yeah.
Because you want to put the Tiara on Chain.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this is, if I was looking at this, I mean, as I am from an outsider perspective, this is a meme deck. But there are ways to create some Rune Chants here. We do have the Annals of Sutcliffe.
Yep, the book.
Which is interesting. It's kind of... oh, wait. Does Chain give the book go again? Yes.
Well, it's not an attack.
No, because it's your next Runeblade or Shadow action this turn gains go again.
Oh.
Now we're cooking with some gas. This is like some spice, right?
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Because
Oh,
all right.
Well, interesting. Actually, hold on.
Maybe Greg's cracked the code here because, the worst thing about Annals of Sutcliffe is you don't get to do anything after, right?
Yeah. And the only problem with this is it splits.
That is a huge problem.
But if this is a control deck and you are popping Soul Shackles left and right, you're only going to have so many turns. Yeah. So you don't want to use this book too much, is what I'm trying to say. But what's really interesting about this is when we get to the main deck cards. I did not know that Chain gave actions go again, because that, my friend, makes Blessings of Occult an exceptional card.
Oh yeah. Well, before we get to that, we're going to talk about the other main stuff we got going on. Carrion Husk, best card in the game ever printed. Ban it. Just kidding. Please don't.
A mistake.
No, definitely not a mistake. Grasp of the Arknight, a mistake.
Okay.
Everybody knows Grasp of the Arknight blocks 2, and then
talk about a mistake. Spellbound Creepers.
Spellbound Creepers is a mistake because I think the cold foil looked terrible.
Oh well, that's why I have yours.
I know. I don't know why. I felt like it came out like dirty.
Oh, I love it. It's spooky. It's misty.
Okay. All right. All right. If you're gonna pitch it as misty,
yeah,
then I'm Brock. Anyway, I'll be here all night. So you got amplify the Arknight.
Yeah.
So if you're making Rune Chants, you want to do the Arknight thing. You want to play things for less than they cost. Blessing of Occult, yellow and red.
So I do want to talk a bit about Amplify.
Sure.
Because if you think about what this deck is doing, it's meant to just kind of sit there and do nothing for a
Mm-hmm.
while, and just kind of charge up. And then if you have the tiara on, you want to pop it to, you know, use it to block some arcane. It has a great Kano matchup, that's for sure. But the
True.
good thing about Amplify the Arcanite is it is a popper, which is important because Prism's in the format. Also, it costs 0 to attack with it after you play like a Blessings of Occult. So you
After you
could,
pop your blessing.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So after you pop your Blessings of Occult, or you had just sitting there with a bunch of rune chants, these amplifies are great attacks that you don't have to pay for, but they're also just in main deck poppers to be able to just kind of silently have an attack, even if you block with four, like stick that in arsenal, block with 4 cards, charge up some room chance, and just have something to swing. You'll see Ninth Blades in here too, and it kind of does the same thing, except Ninth Blade's much more expensive.
Yeah. And because this is chain, you can give it go again. A 0
Yep.
for 6 go again seems pretty dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the Blessing of Cults. Great rune chance, as you said, does cool things with chain. Fate Foreseen, staple defense reaction. Invert
Yep.
Existence, 2 of. You do need a
Yeah,
lot of blues in this deck, I believe. Or I guess
you
the blue
do.
count's pretty low, to be honest.
Well, blue count's low because
Oh, yeah, you need. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you need reds and yellows to be able to pitch. So the attacks are really important in this deck, even though it's a control deck. But the Inverted Existence was an interesting ad because I think it's one of the only cards in here with Blood Debt, and one of the main reasons to play Chain,
Mm-hmm.
um, because other than Soul Reaping. Because another problem with Chain in this, and you have to you kind of do have to stay above 13 life because you don't want that Carrion Husk to go into the Banish Zone because there's no real way for you to turn off Blood Debt. And if you're trying to play a longer game, again, you don't want to get too low, so you got to play hyper defensively here. And Invert Existence is a really great way to deal some sneaky arcane damage, and you're probably not going to banish this.
Mm-hmm.
You can play it from the arsenal. You can play it from the Banish Zone, but like you said, you want to use this as a blue, but you also want to use this to sneak in some arcane damage. Maybe hit a Fi, maybe deal just hit the Levia.
Yeah, or against Olivia. I mean,
Yeah,
you can sneak in some extra blood debt for them, which kind of sucks.
yeah. So yeah, Invert Existence is just a great kind of like tech card that's also a blue, um, and you can play it from your Banish Zone.
Yeah, I mean, it could sneak in some wins too. Next, we got Looming Doom, a 1 of, pretty spicy. We've both kind of sung our praises of this card,
Yeah,
and it just makes sense if you're making a bunch of rune chants, and 2 arcane damage a turn in blitz is definitely something a little bit scarier than we're used to.
yeah,
The meet and greet sweet,
yeah.
the sweet and greet.
The Sweet Meat.
I mean, this card's good.
It's I think it's my favorite attack.
Yeah,
Um,
so easy to go again because your opponent's not thinking about meet and greet a lot of the time when that first like rune chant pops on
yep,
something else.
yep. In this deck, you're really only using it. You're using it to turn on the book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's also just good attacks that pressure the opponent, block for 3, and like makes rune chance if it hits. So you're not on the rune chant plan, you're able to kind of press some damage. And if they do let it hit, make a rune chant, and then you can kind of turtle back up.
Yeah. And then you mentioned Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath
Mm-hmm.
Popper. Also can I mean if you work really hard can be free.
Yep. I mean, it's not actually, now that I think about it in Chain, it's actually really easy for it to be free because you're able to play Read the Runes, which is the next card, give it go again,
Not
and
true.
then play a Blessings of Occult. So that's six rune chants at the start of your turn.
That's pretty good.
You
And then
know,
you could
like
do another read the runes next turn and then use Ninth
mhm.
Blade.
Yeah.
for 9 rune chance and 9 physical.
Yeah.
How do you beat that?
I don't know.
We got reduced rune
Arcane
chant.
Barrier. Yeah, you got reduced rune chant.
Well, yeah, yeah, arcane barrier.
Yeah.
We got so reduced rune chant. This is just more value for having rune chants.
Yep.
And gives you rune chants, rune blood incantation, one of your favorite cards. Even playing the yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow one I think is worth playing more often than the red personally, especially in Blitz, because you're only going to play like 3, maybe even 3 or 4 turns of a game of Blitz. So having the yellow in your hand when it makes 2 rune chants, and it could either be a rune blood incantation or it can be 2 resources to fuel your turn. That card is really good. I play it in all of my main decks, because like even if I'm going super aggressive, I don't want to, that might not be 3 turns of a rune blood incantation. I want something like this as like a way to press some damage while also being a hedge for the resources that it's worth.
Amen. Amen. Mara's here finally.
Oh, hey Mara.
A little late. No. Well, welcome. We're just talking about this Princess Chain deck, with a tiara. We got Sigil of Suffering and Sink Below. Sigil of Suffering, big fan of that. Love a little trick that can win you the game. Sink Below. What more can we say about Sink Below that's already been said, right?
It's already sunk below expectations.
I think it's
or would you say rises above expectations?
Probably rises.
Rise above has sunk below expectations.
Rise above. Snatch yellow.
Yeah, I don't understand the yellow personally. I think it might be just to pay for other attacks and get you to the book part. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I that might be a good question for Greg. We'll have to ask him, but yeah, Mar, this is it's I guess Empress Dromai's with the Crown of Dominion, right? Or whatever. This is with the Amethyst Tiara.
Though cash in Viscerai? Maybe that'll be next week's.
If we record next week, we don't know yet.
Oh, right, yeah.
We might have to take next week off, but we'll figure it out. Soul Reaping, Legendary Chain Specialization. This card is actually busted.
Yeah, it's an insane card. I don't understand why they printed this card. It's a rare, but yeah, it's basically you banish a card from your hand and you get a 6 attack. So, like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I remember the first event I played, it was RTN. I asked a judge, "Hey, does this work like this?" And he said, "Yeah." I was like, "Wow." And he's like, "Yeah, this card's stupid." And I was like, "Okay." All right. I went and lost anyway, but it was what it was. But and then Whisper of the Oracle. What can you tell me about this card? Opt 3, go again.
Yep. Blocks 3. And it's below it's not a blue, so it works with the book. Opting 3 is better than opting 2, but the idea that you can opt the card that you're going to draw to the top of your deck with the book, you can see most of your hand. I don't know. It's really just a good block 3, but playing the red is less resource restrictive than the yellow. So you play the yellow so that way you can pitch it with the book.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I guess you don't even want to play the blue because of the book. So
yeah,
because you usually see the blue in most things. Do you ever play the blue in your Viscerai decks?
Not the Whisper anymore. I usually play the Sift.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that one's probably better, right?
For me, yes, but Whisper's really good for setting up the next turn. So you really get to decide if you want to if you're gonna have a busted Runeblade turn, or if you want to if you're gonna high roll. You know what I mean? You can really set up the high roll with a Whisper rather than a Sift lets you fix the turn right then and there.
Sure.
Both block for 3 though, so they're good.
Sideboard, we got Arcanite Skullcap.
Mm-hmm.
What is the price of Arcanite Skullcap now? I'm almost afraid to look.
$50.
Oh my god.
Not financial advice, but I am buying a bunch of them. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's my secret sleeper pick. Even when it goes to $25, when they reprint it in History Pack 1, I still feel like $50 is still low for Skullcap.
Sure.
So I'm trading for them. And I think that I think Crown of Providence is overhyped. I mean, that's just how it is. That's what I feel. Me and Copy Cody share that sentiment, but
interesting.
Yeah.
Crown of Dichotomy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, so I guess, if you really want to meme with this deck, you don't want to play any other headpiece, but you got to have some in there.
Yeah.
It's got Arcane Barrier 1, and then this is the one that puts stuff from your graveyard back on top of your deck.
You're not often going to use this ability in Chain. You can actually, I think you can, you can activate Chain and then give this action go again, which is kind of nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is more of just a better Null Rune Hood.
Yeah. And then I guess you set up. Do you set up? No. I guess you can't really set up your Soul Shackles. You can only set up what you're drawing, right? You'll draw before you do this. Mm-hmm. Final Spring Tunic. This is obviously just a budget card. This is a card that makes resources very good. Not as good as Carrion Husk, but still very good.
Yep.
No Rune Boots. Kano.
Mm-hmm. Icelander, actually.
Icelander.
But Kano as well, yeah, because you wouldn't against Icelander. You don't want to play the Tiara, but you also want AB3.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
So the it's Kano and it's Icelander, but more particularly those are in there for Icelander.
Reaping Blade for when you want to attack and not read books.
Yep. Sometimes you don't want to read books.
I get it.
Like probably against Dromai, you don't want to read books.
Can I just say something about this art on Reaping Blade? While I love it, it does look like this should hurt you.
Oh yeah.
When you hold it, but maybe if you got smaller hands, which
I mean, you got two hands, right? So
yes, two-handed. What the heck?
That thing is huge. That thing is huge.
Huge.
That's that's a spine.
Vexing Cool Hand, arguably the best, one of the best cards to come out of Everfest.
Oh my god, dude! Vexing Cool Hand. I could do the whole 2-hour podcast about Vexing Cool Hand. And not just the art, but just the card itself and when it's good, when it's not. It's basically Runeblade Goliath Gauntlet with Arcane Barrier on it.
Would you, let's say if you wanted to cosplay this, would you actually hook the thing into your arm, or would you make it
fake? I would not. If I could do this cosplay, I wouldn't actually hook into my arm because I don't have any piercings. I'm not super. I probably wouldn't get those tattoos, but I would write a really nuts message, get a really sick quill. Probably looking to do it around Halloween. That's actually not a bad idea. I never thought about doing this one.
You could just do that. I know someone who did the Run the Jewels thing, and that was all their whole Halloween costume, and it was just so.
Maybe I'll have to look into fake hooks.
Hooks.
But the text behind it, Tom, that's what really hooked me.
That was what the what do they call it? The
Arcane?
No. What do they call the thing that makes
Cipher.
Yeah, but the one that was language. Was it the Rosetta Stone?
The Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
This is one of the Rosetta Stones, not the Rosetta Thorns.
Yeah.
That unlocked a few more characters in the arcane language. Yeah. And it's a playmat too, which I really want to pick up eventually. They're not very cheap, but if I did pick it up, it would go behind me. Because it's just it's a beautiful card and it means a lot to me.
Oh, I love to hear that, my friend. That was Princess Chain, the Librarian, and this was the Budrush Bellow. And we might have to take next week off because I forget about work and also previous podcast commitments that I've made. But that's okay. We will be back after that. Would you like to plug anything, Mr. Viz?
Yeah, I guess I'll do a plug for my Twitter at Mr. Viz. Mr. spelled out VIZ. Recently I've just been calling you Tom, and that's it. So if you want to see tweets about calling Tom, I can do that more. I also want to shout out the Buds Discord. It's a really great spot to either prep for ProQuest season or just want to talk about food that you got this week. Maybe you just want to hang out, post your pool pics. We're welcome to have you. I added a new sticker of you as a hot dog this week, or as a fresh glizzy, if you will, fresh gagger. And yeah, I also want to plug the merch one last time. I posted it in the link earlier. Make sure you pick some up by the end of the day today, which is in an hour. And shout out to Jeff's drive that he's doing as well.
Oh, I'll post that
maybe
in the chat.
Yeah.
Actually.
Jeff is doing a drive for a local Pittsburgh nonprofit. Posted an Amazon wish list. I'm gonna pick something up for them and ship it to them. You should definitely do that too. Yeah, I think that's it.
Sounds wonderful.
You just put it in the chat there.
Yeah, awesome. Threw it in the chat. But you can also I retweeted it and stuff like that if anybody wants to check it out. I do encourage people to check it out because there's nothing better than helping others, and I think that's cool. So
maybe 100 rune chants in a pile.
100 what? No, there's this guy. I don't know why did I do this show? Why? But you all can continue to find me at Fresh Buds Pod. Tomorrow, a very special episode of Fresh and Buds comes out with my dear cousin, best friend, best man of my first wedding, Dan. And I try to convince him to play. And we'll see if he does. I told him maybe he should come to Battle Hardened, New Jersey. I would build him Fi. So we will see. But check it out because it is a ride. And you also get to see what I'm like with my cousin because little do people know, I had a podcast with him prior to Fresh and Buds for many, many years. And we would be very silly and wild. But like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Check out the YouTube Fresh and Buds this year is a little crazy change. Also, 500 subscribers, going to do the full adult Leviah, not adult 18 plus Leviah, as some folks
have guessed. I'm logging off.
The adult hero card with the tentacles and the purple. So, and Gary will be the rabbit. And I will have a beanie to give away at some point. We're going to figure out how to do that. And I don't know. Everybody be good to each other, and please enjoy your week. And we will see.
You got a meal of the week?
Oh, meal of the week. Oh my God, yes. Lady Fresh yesterday made a curry lentil soup. That was quite good.
Is that what you posted?
Yep, that's what I posted with spinach. I made some shrimp to throw in there. She made some roasted butternut squash. I'm not a huge squash guy. I think I'm squashing the squash. It's not my thing, right? But it was delicious. Had a little kick to it, and some cilantro and spinach in there. It was delicious.
Wait, cilantro?
I was pronouncing it weird on purpose. Cilantro.
Okay. I was gonna say that's a new one for me.
Cilantro. But what about you?
Yeah, my New Year's meal. We went out to dinner with Paige and some of our close friends, Connor and Shane, and got a nice steak. Got some chips and dip. I love me some chips and dip as a little prefix. I don't really treat myself to a nice meal that often, so it was nice to go out. It's got steak, some chips and dip. I know not a premium chips and dip option, but I got this awesome caramel bread pudding as well. It was, oh man, caramel bread pudding with ice cream on top. Oh man, so good. If you want to hear more about that and more about food in general, you should definitely join the Buds Discord because all those pictures go in there.
Amen. They do. The food pics channel's always popping off. And everybody, please tag James White in your tweets and tell him to listen to this show live. I don't want him to listen to a VOD. I like that everybody else listens to the VOD. I want James to experience the live experience. And with that, I will say good night.
Good night. Bellow.